What is it about Africa? Some see struggle. We see opportunity. This is where we thrive. Africa is a land of contrasts. Hundreds of millions of our people live without access to clean water and electricity. Yet we have more entrepreneurs than any other continent, and by 2050, half of the world's youth will be African. Africa's been busy. We're urbanizing, embracing technology. We're sprinting forward with some of the fastest growing economies in the world. It's time for African-driven solutions to African problems. It's time to seize the moment and create our own narrative to build the Africa we want. Business has the power to bring about change at scale and make money doing so. The shared value business model reconnects business success with social progress. Shared value is also about partnerships, building business networks that create inclusive growth. The power of collaboration should never be underestimated. If we can bring together businesses and communities from across Africa with a shared purpose, we can build economic value and, most importantly, value for society. It's time for Africa to become the economic powerhouse of the future. Become part of Africa's most powerful shared value business network. Join the Shared Value Africa initiative today.
All right, join the Shared Value African Business Network today. It's time for Africans. It's time for us to actually take hold of this world, because by 2050, half of the world's population will be Africans. We have the world's largest youth population. And so it's about time that we start having conversations that would actually facilitate our progress towards achieving the successes that we desire and actually deserve. Africa boasts of a lot of things, which includes a thriving ecosystem full of entrepreneurs. However, there is a shortfall where we don't seem to maximize this capacities and this youthful entrepreneurship ecosystem. And so the Shared Value Africa initiative thought it wise that why don't we bring African entrepreneurs together on a platform where we can begin to have conversations that matters to them, conversations that will actually steer our progress towards the future that we deserve. Because entrepreneurship is the vehicle that will bring the change that we all want to see. We want to see solutions, we want to see problems being solved, because where problem lies, there is opportunity for businesses to thrive. And so this network, this platform is literally a platform set by entrepreneurs for entrepreneurs. And so I just want to say welcome to everybody. My name is Andrews Akoto Ado. I work with Ghana Tech Lab as an investment associate, and I'm happy, proud to call myself a shared value advocate, a shared value ambassador, working with SVAI since 2021. No, actually, I had a vibe with them when I connected with SOPACT. I joined a webinar with SOPACT on an impact measurement using the shared value business management tool, and I got fascinated about the idea. And today I'm here with them, always happy to facilitate this session. Today is the African Entrepreneurship Forum, and it's a quarterly forum that we more or less inspire conversation that would put us on a pathway towards achieving the growth that we deserve or we desire. And this conversation is basically to connect with entrepreneurs, connect them with key stakeholders, investors, business partners, and establish some linkages with their businesses that they are operating, and then find a way of facilitating the whole African conversation of development. We try and bring in conversations like the AFCFTA, which is a very important aspect of our existence now. We need to maximize the opportunities that the AFTA presents, and other supporting ideas or tools that we believe would best help entrepreneurs. And so if you're here, continue to introduce. I see people introducing themselves in the chat box, which is very wonderful. Thank you all for connecting. Thank you all for joining. If you are here and you know a friend who is here to connect, you can quickly send the person a chat, or a message or send a tweet and say that you are connected this morning to the African Entrepreneurship Forum, which is ongoing, the first forum of 2022. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And I'm excited to be the moderator for today. We're going to have a lot of insightful conversation. We have packed conversation, or let me say a full opportunity conversation actually. So we are going to talk to you about the shared value training program, the master class, which is going to take place next week, Wednesday, 23rd February. There's an opportunity for 10 tickets to be given away. 10 tickets. So we're going to give 10 tickets. We want to see you, the most active people on the line would actually benefit from free tickets for the shared value masterclass taking place on Wednesday, 23rd February. We'll select from those that are actually commenting and asking questions. So it's important for you to engage, all right? It's important for you to engage. This is a forum created by entrepreneurs for entrepreneurs. So let's see the entrepreneurial spirit here. We're going to share also a link for attendees to register for of our very impactful training programs, which has to do with the investor readiness program. Last year, the Ghana Tech, my organization that I work with, very much honored to implement or facilitate the organization of the investor readiness program as co-host. We had entrepreneurs connecting across the country, I mean in Ghana, and then also on the continent, and they got tools to become investor ready. What actually would take you to break a deal or to facilitate an engagement with an investor? Either you're an early stage entrepreneur, either you're building a startup, a tech-enabled business, or you're an SME operator. How would you solicit the various funding to keep your business running and to give you that scaling needs that you actually want? So I would encourage everybody here to be lively, be open, and but then let me quickly share the housekeeping rules. Whilst I encourage you to be lively, send chats and all that, we would want to say that when you are not speaking, of course, you have to keep your microphones mute. Please, you can turn on your videos. We'd love to see your faces, but then make sure that you don't have any background noise or anything happening at your background, right? So that you don't distract anybody. So we just want to see you, all right? And also, we would encourage that you don't send any, we don't allow any messages or anything that would actually affect someone. Okay, let's keep the platform as safe as possible. Okay, as safe as possible. So 10 tickets, let me hit it again. 10 tickets will be given away for free, all right? Taking place next week for our shared value masterclass training program. And then also we have a very powerful training program, which is actually a shared value purpose playbook training that would also be shared here. And so please, if you are ready, I am ready. And there's a time that we say everybody should keep their spirits alive. And let me quickly introduce Vio, would speak to us about the Jamie Trade. First opportunity that will be shared is a go-to data hub to inform entrepreneurs to access information on the AFCFTA, to be able to access network and cross-border traders across the continent. And so let me welcome Vio to quickly talk to us about the Jamie Trade, which is a very impactful opportunity for entrepreneurs. Vio, good to see you.
Good to see you, Andrews. Thank you so much for leading us on yet another African Entrepreneurship Forum, first of 2022 and of many, many, many more. As we were arguing earlier, it feels like it's been longer than a year and a half, but today is the 1-year anniversary of the very first African Entrepreneurship Forum that we hosted in February 18th of 2021. So I'm very excited to be here to share with everyone an opportunity that's coming up that is led by the Shared Value Africa Initiative alongside our partners. And my apologies, and now I've just lost my slides. If you don't mind, just give me 1 second. This is an opportunity that we really have developed to benefit entrepreneurs, SMEs operating across the continent, but particularly those who are interested in cross-border trade. So I'm going to take the next few minutes to just share with you a little bit about what that actually means and what it is. And then we will move on with other opportunities for 2022 that we're offering to our network of entrepreneurs on the continent. So before I get started with the details of exactly what this is, I am going to share, please excuse me, I'm going to share my sound. Technical issues, everyone, it happened to all of us. All right, so I'm going to share a quick video with you all, and then I will go through the slides and talk a little bit about what actually this opportunity is and what hopefully it will mean for you as entrepreneurs on our network.
Introducing JAMI, empowering African entrepreneurs. Africa faces a huge challenge with no centralized information on trade development, trade facilitation, trade finance, and trade negotiations makes accessing information on production processes in different sectors in different countries, making it virtually impossible to source. Africa's population has hit 1.4 billion people, making it the largest free trade area in the world. The AFCFTA connects 1.3 billion people across 55 countries with a combined GDP of $3.4 trillion. By 2050, Africa's youth population is projected to reach 460 million people, 6 times the size of the youth population of Europe. 91% of businesses in South Africa are SMEs, contributing 60% of employment and 52% of total GDP. Did you know that 48% of Nigeria's national GDP is contributed by SMEs? These account for 96% of businesses and 84% of employment. The solution is JAMI, the trade directory for African entrepreneurs. JAMI will contribute to Africa's economic growth, access to previously untapped markets for African entrepreneurs, marketing opportunities to grow your business and its network, compiling big data and insights from one of the world's biggest markets while doing good and providing social impact investment. Current industries identified for inclusion on JAMI: agriculture, forestry, mining, healthcare, education, life sciences, retail, e-commerce, and many, many more. JAMI is currently looking for impact funding. Please contact Shared Value Africa Initiative at the following contact details. JAMI, powered and developed by the Pan-African Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Injozi Digital Design, Shift, and Shared Value Africa Initiative.
Okay, great. So just so everyone can relax a little bit, we are certainly not putting any of you under pressure to, be a funding partner, but we actually want to give you the heads up as an opportunity that will benefit you. And I will talk in the end as to what actually our call to action is for you, our entrepreneur network today. So I just wanted to, get us started just mentioning that, over the last 14 to 18 months, the Shared Value Africa Initiative has been interacting with young people, entrepreneurs, SMEs across the continent to really understand how they intend to take up opportunities within the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, right? And we're constantly presented with the same response of wanting to know more. What is a free trade area? And most of the young people, most of the entrepreneurs and SMEs that we interacted with on platforms similar to this one. In fact, one of our 2021 sessions was themed around this very issue, if you were able to join us for that. And what became clear is entrepreneurs and SMEs not necessarily understanding not just what the CFTA is, but where the starting point is, in order to participate, to benefit from the agreement. And what, of course, this meant is that entrepreneurs will not capitalize on this opportunity if they don't understand exactly what it is about. So information is key. But also with that, information is needed urgently, right, by entrepreneurs in order to make the decisions that you need to make in order to participate in the CFTA with your trade, your cross-border trade offering and services. So that then made it clear that our problem statement is lack of easily accessible, centralized AFCFTA trade information for entrepreneurs. And that is what we really hit, the pedal to the metal and wanted to focus on in providing you a service, because we knew that without credible centralized information, SMEs will not be able to benefit from the AFCFTA. And with that, we then conducted various research through polling, interviews, etc. And what this informed us was the fact that there indeed is this knowledge gap in terms of awareness, in terms of how to access the information. And it also showed us that digital platforms, right, used by your accelerators across the continent, more of such platforms are needed to be able to have equally accessible information for our cross-continental network of entrepreneurs. And also, while taxes is of course a very big cost barrier, very big issues for cross-border trade, especially at SME level, we also know that there are other non-tariff barriers that need to be better understood, because entrepreneurs will also be faced this when venturing into Africa trade. And so we need to be able to explore and expand on this better on the centralized platform. And of course, I mentioned earlier one of our 2021 webinars on with the African Entrepreneurship Forum, actually that included a poll, which, not too much surprise, 100% of the attendees who participated on the poll indicated that they need more information on the AFCFTA in order to just make decisions as to if and how to participate in cross-border trade on the continent. And really just recapping then, what I was saying earlier in terms of no centralized information, trade development information, e-commerce platforms, all of this are what is needed to be able to specifically address the needs of SMEs. Because what currently exists out there is some information out there, but it tends to be driven by institutions. And we need to have one platform, a community that speaks to your needs as entrepreneurs within our network. So we knew that the current landscape presented these challenges, these gaps that need to be addressed further, and to really contribute to a more successful AFCFTA, because your participation in it, and I want to underline this, entrepreneurs' participation in the AFCFTA in cross-border trade on the continent is a contribution to the success of the AFCFTA itself. So we cannot move ahead with it without ensuring your participation as African entrepreneurs. So as the video that you saw earlier highlighted, there's numbers, and I want to just really, I won't go through them, but just really underline that, the numbers speak for themselves. We don't need to necessarily convince ourselves or anyone as to the size of the market, but it's how to better able to participate in it. And similarly, the sectors and the industries that were highlighted in our video now, it's not a list that is all-inclusive. It's obviously, of course, a growing list, and some sectors and some industries are going to be much bigger and much stronger than others, but it gives you a sense of, the world of possibilities, as it were, when our population of 1.4 billion people on the continent are able, through these industries, to benefit from the AFCFTA in a truly comprehensive and effective manner. So the challenge to us then, of course, has been clear on, empowering African SMEs, with information to help contribute to building the African economy, and of course, facilitating this cross-border trade. And what we knew then was we had to take it upon ourselves as a Shared Value Africa initiative to make sure that we build this community. We have been working with entrepreneurs across various platforms over the years, and we saw a very important and very urgent gap and I guess platform that needed to be engaged in. And that is what we then came across, decided with alongside our partners, the Pan-Africa Chamber of Commerce and Industry, to be able to work on this platform. So what we call it is Jamii Trade. Those who speak Swahili know that Jamii means community, and we just added the trade word to it to really better communicate what it is about. And really what it is, in short, is a curated collaborative community for SMEs trading in Africa and beyond. And that's what really I want to raise awareness of with you all as our attendees today, in order to, for you to be part of it, because we are currently in the development phase of this, but we need your participation as we continue with our planning and development and rolling out over in the coming months. And I think also, of course, the value of this really is self-evident when you, in any reading that you might be doing on AFCFTA, in that it's the better we're able to transform economies, the better we're able to trade internally across the continent, the better economic transformation that we'll be able to witness, participate in, and in our case as SVAI, facilitate. Economic diversification is very important, in order to have a wider access, more industries being able to really develop and participate in this, and not just certain industries who have been doing so over the last few decades. And of course, economic inclusion for us is very important. That's why we have platforms like these, to be able to better empower entrepreneurs in Africa to contribute to building and diversification of the economy. And this through the e-platforms, through the e-functionalities of an app, of a digital platform. Of course, we're able to contribute towards building and sharing of best practice, in terms of the practicalities of trade across the border. And ultimately, all of this is economic sustainability, which I know, being here together, that is a no-brainer for us all. And this is one of the many ways we can steadfastly and consistently contribute to that. So this platform is, I would refer to as an app, but it's actually a digital platform that will work on in various forms. But ultimately, what is important for us is a community aspect, where we are facilitating, developing a place for entrepreneurs on the continent to access information, but also share information on your own experiences as you decide and embark on cross-border trade on the continent. And that will also be another peer learning platform, because then you are sharing information with each other and are able to then consistently really grow, learn, and develop your own resources in line with your experiences, but your peers' experiences as well. And just to quickly, go through the look and feel. So it's nice to have a visual element of what a platform like this could look like when we are developing it. And I think for us, it's very important that it is a cross-continental platform. We don't want to isolate anyone in any specific area, but it's about the entirety of the continent coming together, the entirety of the continent's entrepreneurs, SMMEs, coming together, sharing information and participating in something like this. And of course, with that, the more data we're able to collect, the more information we're able to gather, the better we're able to influence policymakers, right, in our respective regions, countries, and governments, to better understand what our needs are as entrepreneurs who are participating in cross-border trade. And in the long term, we want to be able to know and track and talk about the changing narrative and how entrepreneurs were able to participate in the cross-border trade, better participate in the AFCFTA through platforms such as these ones, and be able to boost Africa's income, be able to increase our own exports. As I mentioned earlier, it's about trading on the continent and beyond, and really be able to empower our women entrepreneurs, empower all the entrepreneurs to be able to better thrive, right, across the continent, in contributing to this, to our African narrative. And what we know is the outcomes to everyone's benefit. As mentioned earlier about, growing the economy, empowering entrepreneurs, sustainable businesses. I think entrepreneurs are on this platform because you are on a journey, right? But to continue and thrive on your journey, you need support, you need partners, you need opportunities for collaboration. And this is one more product that we're offering, that we are working on, to be able to help you on that journey and be able to help you in that sense. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, harnessing data is a very important part of a digital platform, because through what we're able to do, through what we're able to garner by, working with you as our network of entrepreneurs, we are then able to really affect not just your future decision-making, but also be able to feed back to policymakers in terms of how they can better participate or better support you on this journey of the AFCFTA. So really for me, on this platform today on behalf of the SVAI, it's to, let you know that we've got this coming up. We're very excited about it. We will keep you updated on the launch timeframes of the JamiTrade platform. We will be sharing the link, as Andrews mentioned earlier, where you can, if you are interested in learning more about it, as we progress through it, we will be able to, you can sign up on there and we will keep you updated. And with that as well, and I mentioned earlier that we do need your participation, because we are developing a digital platform. And those who are familiar with the digital space, you'll know that there's a lot of testing, surveys, research that we'll be doing along the way to be able to have you talk from your experience what needs to happen on this platform. So we do need not just to sign up, but to be able to participate when we are reaching out to you for information and various requests, because you are what is going to make this a great platform and a successful platform at that. So once you sign up, we'll be able to keep you up to date. And really, I also want to say, just as a last point, of course, this African Entrepreneurship Forum, our quarterly meeting will also be another place where we keep you up to date as we develop this. So stay tuned, keep up to date, keep in touch with us, and join JamiTrade. And with that, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Vio. I think JamiTrade is just the right digital tool to help accelerate the growth or the knowledge about AFCFTA. I think access to a network of cross-border traders across the continent is an opportunity for entrepreneurs here to basically take advantage of. It's a no-brainer. This is something just to help bridge the gaps that we are so familiar with within the ecosystem. So thank you so much, Vio, and I'm excited about what JamiTrade has to offer. I encourage everybody here to stay on the lookout. We are going to share a link where you can sign up to the various opportunities that will be shared with you this morning or this afternoon, depending on where you are connecting from. And so at this moment, we are owning into the session. And so we'll quickly pull out a poll where we want to get some feedback from you about what you think are the biggest challenges that African entrepreneurs face. You can see there on your screen. So we'd love to hear your feedback here. This is basically a poll to understand the challenges that you are facing as an entrepreneur, depending on your country where you are located. So is it access to market? Is it resources? By resources, we mean funding to grow your business, information or training. Let us hear you and know how best we can all support each other and then accelerate our growth. What do you think are the biggest challenges? So quick fingers. Let's hear you. And then right after this, we'll be honing into the or going further for our investor readiness workshop or training, which 3 Arrows Impact in partnership with Shared Value. Last year, Ghana Tech Lab, we were fortunate to host a session with Shared Value and then 3 Arrows Impact. It was a very insightful session. And so just on the issue of funding, access to finance, how do I get ready to access this funding that we always need? Money is important. Without the resources, we cannot access the opportunity. So I think it's one of the biggest challenges that African entrepreneurs face. But let's hear you with the poll that's on your screen. So can we pull out the results now? Okay. Wow. So 42% of the participation on this session today says it's access to resources to grow business. And then the next one is, I think, access to markets and then information training are at par. Wow. All right. So this is something that Shared Value with our partners would actually take forward as part of efforts to tailor or design programs or initiatives or provide opportunities that would help you and I to be able to access this opportunities that we actually crave for, depending on the challenges that we are facing, right? So as I mentioned earlier, in our recent partnerships last year, Ghana Tech Lab was fortunate to host the Investor Readiness Workshop with Shared Value and then 3 Arrows Impact. The next presentation is from the founder and partner of the 3 Arrows Impact Partners, 3 Arrows Impact Partners, a proud supporter of the shared value philosophy, a proud believer of the concept. So we would pull out, we would hear from Sawa this very moment. Okay, wonderful.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sawa Nakagawa from 3 Arrows Impact Partner. I'm the course designer and facilitator for the Investor Readiness Program with Shared Value Africa Initiative and Shared Value Africa Academy. We're really excited to announce that we're back with 2 types of investor readiness courses this year. Many entrepreneurs that I work with struggle with questions such as, how do I get ready to raise funding? How much should I raise? What kind of funding suits my business? If you also have these questions, then these courses are for you. The first class, which is the introductory course, offers you the fundamentals of what it means to be investor ready. We will also provide you with a tool to assess your business's investor readiness. This highly interactive introductory workshop will be offered on the 31st of March. As you know, being investor ready is a journey. The second course is an advanced course for those who have already taken the introductory course. It goes into more detail about evaluating your business and its investability. You will also have the opportunity to hear from a panel of investors during this course. This advanced course will be offered on the 5th of May. Please sign up through the link to be provided. I look forward to meeting you all.
Wonderful. Please, we're going to provide the link. So that's Sawa sharing the concept or the initiative that we have put together in partnership with Shared Value. Yes, we have 3 Arrows Impact Partner working with Shared Value to design a course that is actually tailor-made to the needs of entrepreneurs. Investor readiness, as Sawa made mention of, is a journey. And so please look out for the link in the chat box. I see a lot of messages popping up in the chat box, which is very, very amazing. So we are following through with your message. I think the poll that we actually brought up for you to share your comments about the challenges. I saw a message from Tapiola that it's actually limited. I agree, it's limited. But I would advise that we are able to, as entrepreneurs, we categorize the challenges that we face. Major challenges versus the minors. There are some challenges that I think when you conduct a SWOT analysis, for an instance, you eventually see them as potential threats rather than necessarily challenges. There are some things that you can influence as an entrepreneur. So from your perspective, as an entrepreneur, what do you think you can influence? And those that you might not be able to influence, but it has its own, timelines to changing its own course as a nation develops or as a nation grows along certain trajectory. So you may consider the poll with what we lifted as maybe the major, and then I know a lot of challenges. So it's incredible that we are getting these messages coming in. So Shared Value Africa Initiative, we are taking note of all of this, and our partners on the call also are taking note of all of this. We will definitely provide solutions from our own quiver of a lot of opportunities to meet your needs. I think the next presentation that we are going to have would present us an opportunity to also solve some of the challenges that as entrepreneurs we face. Because one of the things that I think many entrepreneurs on the continent face is clarity, the issue about purpose versus profit. The thing about profit maximization with their purpose description or purpose design. What are they doing? What are the strategies in place to help them actually tailor, make their initiatives or bring their programs out of a place of purpose rather than just attracting sources of funding and all that. It's very important when you have clarity before you start something, before you commence a business, before you even keep moving through the business. And so we'll from Dr. Mumbi Wachira, a lecturer with the Strathcon in Kenya. She's going to talk to us about the shared value training. It's more of a purpose training that we run, shared value. So would get Mumbi to quickly come in. However, a quick one, please. The registration link will be shared by Mumbi for the shared value training. So kindly keep your tabs, keep your eyes on the chat box. And also a quick reminder that we're going to give out 10 tickets for massive contribution or engagement from the 10 most active people on the call today for the Mastercard training, shared value masterclass that would take place next week. Right. So let's hear from Doc Mumbi. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Andrews, and good afternoon, good morning to my brothers and sisters from all over the continent. I'm really so inspired to be with you here today and to just see the conversation that is taking place in the chat. I think you are all so much very well experienced in your businesses. The passion is there, you know, the motivation to build, you know, better businesses for our continent is apparent. And of course, as we are saying with the poll, we just want to see, as Shared Value Africa Initiative and the other partners, as Sawa has mentioned just in her video, how we can support you. So I just wanted to mention something because I saw the discussion that Tapiwa and others are having, which I think is important. There is the broad macro level challenges. We know our governance as it is, we know the corruption that is there. And it is true that I do feel, especially for young entrepreneurs, sometimes people may not be aware of these challenges, so that is valid. What though we do want to emphasize as we're taking this interesting and also complex journey is that there are some issues, as Andrews had said, where we have a say. And my experience, so I have to also, you know, excuse myself because I have a very academic background. But when I started getting into this area of sustainability within businesses, shared value, purpose, I realized that the initial discussion around building a better world, because that's what we are essentially doing, it started with waiting for governments to act, okay? And worldwide over, they were not moving fast enough. And that's why it has now come to other parts of society, so civil society and businesses, because we are realizing that we can't wait. So yes, they are the macro level issues. We hope for better policies. We hope for a better environment. We hope for free and fair elections. You know, in Kenya, we have elections this year. But even amidst that, we do want to focus on where can we make a difference. And this is now where the training comes in. So I think people already have an idea about what shared value is, because this is an idea that is a bit older than when it was presented, but it's really ensuring that your business is addressing a social problem that is apparent. And by doing so, you are able to actually be profitable and sustainable over time. Yeah, we are really thinking, and the interesting thing is that people have often thought about social challenges as something that is separate from what the business should focus on. You know, this is something that an NGO should be doing, or this is something that, you know, we leave to civil society, to governments to sort out. But what we've realized from several examples, even in our own countries, is that those businesses that are able to identify a challenge that is confronting the communities they're based in and build a business solution around it, those businesses tend to thrive and to grow over time, because what that does is that you are essentially creating a source of differentiation, as we say. And once you do create that source of differentiation, then that's where your competitive advantage comes in. It means that the business model that you have built around addressing that social challenge is much harder to replicate. And that is what actually makes you create a lot of, or rather be profitable over time and grow. And again, linking to what Sawa Nakagawa said, who is also, I now call her a friend, is that you find this is what investors are increasingly looking for. If I talk about East Africa, which is where I'm from, although we're coming from all over Africa, and there is a very good impact investing landscape across East, South, and West, especially. Okay. I think we can leverage on that, because once someone is able to demonstrate how their business model is generating impact that's meaningful, then people are quite ready to look at that as a source of wanting to invest. So this is what shared value is, and this is what the training really focuses on, which is understanding how do you actually create shared value, and then you realize that there are levels to it. And I really hope that people will quickly jump onto the masterclass, because that gives you a glimpse of just understanding the concept, and then later on into the shared value training, which show you how are you going to do this? What is a practical step-by-step way in which you will embed shared value into your business, in which you will create a shared value business model. And just to go through it very briefly, I know we may be short on time, but it's understanding that there are 3 levels. The first level is essentially what I just mentioned, that you identify a problem, there's a need that the community has, and you build a business solution around it. So again, if I think as a Kenyan again, of our environment, financial inclusion has been a huge challenge ever since I was growing up. It was always a problem, access to bank accounts, you had to have a certain limit. But then what happened is Safaricom created a solution around that, which is M-Pesa, which is now that you don't need a bank account. You can just transact on your phone very easily and very quickly. And that alleviated a lot of problems for vast amounts of people. So that's an example of the level 1. You reconceive needs, products, and customers. You look at that problem as an opportunity. The second and the third one, just to summarize, the second one is where you're thinking about your value chain. So if you think about the logistics of your business, the inputs, the outputs, that whole chain, what are ways in which you can improve efficiency across that and generate cost savings? Then the third one is a bit more complex. So you're really looking now at the entire ecosystem of your business and how you can improve impact in that ecosystem. So the third level is usually for very large businesses, but number 1 and 2 can be quite relevant for us here. And these are some of the discussions that we have during the training. The other part, the how-to, because I think it's also important to just think about how to, and it begins with purpose. And this one I've found, the more I think about it, the more I reflect on it, the more I discuss with different businesses, I find that purpose is really such an important thing. It's the why. Why are you doing what you're doing? So I've seen so many interesting examples. Someone is there on the chat, very interesting and creative skincare products. People are really thinking very innovatively about what they're offering. Purpose makes us think about why. It's the reason for being. It's the why are we existing? Why are we actually, this business model that we have, why do we think it's a good one? What do we want to achieve with it? And that's where creating shared value begins. It begins with the why, and the why goes beyond profit maximization. It links to the broader issues, to the social impact, to the social good that we want to create as a business. And you find that, the shared value initiative has actually, identified core practices that one must look at to embed shared value. Okay, so there are 3 core areas: strategy, operations, people. And in the training, we take you through each of those, with a lot of consulting, a lot of examples, a lot of case studies, just for you to understand how does this actually work practically? What are the examples we can draw on from our own region that can show us, say, for example, how do you create a strategy that is a source of distinction? So how do you identify those opportunities? What about the innovation? How do you create an environment, even within your business, where innovation can thrive? Okay, how do you keep track of the impact you're making and how it links to your profitability? So all of these are practices, and we take you, through them in quite a lot of detail. And there's even support offered after these programs. The why, let me just talk a little bit about this as I'm closing. We keep saying, now coming back to the academic side, which is, by the way, is there a business case? So yes, there's all this information we've been given, beautiful information. But at the end of the day, is there a business case for it? Are we going to see a shift in our profitability margin? And that's what it comes down to. So for us, we look at the data. And what I can tell you is that it does make a difference, because what we keep seeing is that firms that embed shared value at the core of their strategy, firms that are aiming to align themselves with sustainability principles. So they're looking at the entire organization. They're looking at the impact it's making on the community. They're looking at the impact it's making on the environment, and understanding those linkages. They end up performing better over time. Okay, and that is for any size of business. So we do have a lot of data now, which makes quite a convincing case that yes, it is linked to profitability. It's also linked to better risk management practices. Okay, if I understand that, for example, now if I'm working in Kenya, we know our elections are this year. Some of us may be based, if you're based outside the capital, some of those areas can become volatile. But if you have established very good relationships with the stakeholders in that area, with your customers, with your suppliers, the community is benefiting from the business. It lowers your risk. That's what we're saying. It helps customers be more loyal, or to reaffirm their loyalty to the products and services that you're providing. And also importantly, it helps drive innovation forward, because these challenges that we're talking about, that we see now, going back to those macro level challenges, the ones that are confronting our society, some of them can be addressed through innovation. And I think if we think about it in our own countries, in our own markets, we do have maybe not many examples, but there are some where we can point to, where we can say, this is an issue that could have been addressed earlier by another body, but the solution has been created by a set of businesses or by a business. Okay, so these are some of the benefits which we are saying have been shown for companies that actually embed shared value. And we're here to take you through the training, provide you with a lot of resources, and as much as possible, we bring on entrepreneurs to tell you their stories about their shared value journey. And I think that helps to build, the supportive community, and to give you the resources that you need to actually thrive in this space. So that's what I would like to share at this point. I'll hand it over to Andrews again, and I'll be monitoring the chat and addressing them, because I see we have quite a lot of comments, so I will address them as best as I can. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mumbi. I always call myself a product of the value training, purpose playbook training. Literally getting shift in mindset and approach in facilitating my business, my activities as a business developer, and also as someone who believes in building thriving startups, connecting the investment linkages, and then giving them access to market. The purpose playbook training actually reoriented me so I can ask my bosses and my CEOs that how do we make profits with impact in mind? How do we also balance the purpose of the organization, knowing that the profit that we are making is actually at the verge of also expanding the opportunities in the ecosystem, solving environmental challenges, and keeping sustainability in line. And so I was just poking their mind. I was like, okay, so let's create a shared value business management strategy. And
Yes.
so eventually they all started asking me, so what is shared value? What is shared value? What is this? And I tell you, Doc, it's been one shift of mindset after the other. There was some resilience to the change that I was actually proposing. It's not easy to, just say that I'm changing my entire focus of business and then run it this way. So this actually takes us to the next session. We're going to have a quick fire chat with somebody who is actually practicing the shared value business management strategy. He was with us during the first purpose playbook training, and today amazing things with Kinnock HG Herbal. He's in the person of Enoch A2. And so, Doc, thank you so much. I think you've just given us a platform to just take the conversation from there. It's a quick fire chat just to help entrepreneurs know that the purpose playbook training is something that they should actually take advantage of. Okay.
Hello.
Yes. Yes, you are on. So everybody joining us right now, we're going to have a conversation with the CEO of Kinnock Herbal, the co-founder of Kinnock Herbal, who happened to be a fellow of the Purpose Playbook training, the shared value training. And so, Enoch, if you can hear us, maybe you can turn on your video, turn off your video, and then because I think your internet is not stable at the moment. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So this is the Shared Value African Entrepreneurship Forum. If you are joining in now, we want to say welcome to the session, to the forum. This is the first forum of the year. We're going to have a quick fire chat right now with the founder of Kinnock Herbal. So, Enoch, it's good to see you again, my brother. I hope you are well. And then can you let everybody here know who you are and what you are doing at Kinnock Herbal?
Okay, thank you very much. I'm Enoch A2, a medical herbalist and a co-CEO of Kinnock HG Herbal Clinic Limited. And we are into the promotion of good health by providing sustainable, good quality and affordable herbal medicines, and also providing primary health care through the complementary and alternative practice medicine.
Fantastic, fantastic. And for people who may be wondering who Andrew is, if you are just joining, Andrew's Akutuado is an investment associate with Ghana Tech Lab. I happen to be an ambassador for Unleash Innovation Labs for SDGs. On a daily, I do social innovation and I do business development. But primarily with Ghana Tech Lab, my work is to facilitate investment, access to finance for small and growing businesses within Ghana Tech Lab's ecosystem. So I connect them with investors, connect them with angels. By investors, I mean categorizing it from institutional level and then maybe individual level investors. I set meetings for startups within our space who want to access investment opportunities. If I go through your business model, if I go through your business strategies, and then I see and I actually review your product, I eventually just connect you to an investor that may be of support to you. So that's what I do, and I happen to be an advocate and a proud ambassador of the Shared Value Business Management Strategy. And so today, Kinnock, as you've heard from him, I just want to know how he got introduced to Shared Value. So, how did you hear about the Shared Value Africa initiative, and what's your journey? What can you share with our audience connecting with us today?
Thank you very much. I got to know about the Shared Africa Value initiative through Ghana Tech Lab social media platform. And I was very fortunate and honored to be part, and I really have benefited and still benefiting and will be benefiting.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what was the first engagement, the place where the Shared Value Africa initiative actually influenced your business, or maybe yourself? I mean, in terms of leadership, what was the key things that you got from the business that influenced, from the Shared Value Africa initiative, that influenced your business and maybe yourself as an individual?
Thank you very much. With us, being with Shared Value helped us be able to streamline our purpose and vision. We did not have a clear vision, and we did not have a clear purpose. A purpose which each and everyone could align or understand, so that they would be able to move with us. But through the Shared Value initiative, we were able to come up with a very good purpose and vision that each and everyone gets to understand. Our vision is to promote good health, and whoever hears good health promotion understands it and looks at us, what we are offering, and sees what we are doing and would want to be part. So aligning ourselves with Shared Value helped us really much. And it also helped us be able to stay focused in terms of our branding and everything. It has really
Wonderful.
helped us.
Great. When it comes to your purpose, for an instance, currently, I mean, would you want to give a brief highlight about what it actually took you as the co-founder and co-CEO of Kinnock Herbal to rally your team behind your purpose? I mean, just by way of the practicalities, what are the type of things that you had to take your team through just to help an entrepreneur out there to understand how to actually put purpose into action, right?
Thank you. It's not an easy one, yes, but you need all hands on deck, because for you to thrive as a company, you would have to get people, a good team. So there are some changes that will come along with you trying to find your purpose or identifying your purpose or making your purpose clear. And not each and everyone would understand, but there is the need for you to make each and everyone understand and know what clearly the team stands for, what the team wants to achieve, and what the team wants to do. At first, we were more into creating something for ourselves, solving our unemployment challenge, though it's a major problem when it comes to Ghana. But we were focusing on how do we do something that will give us the money first. And with that, each and everyone, a lot of people would go for that, but it's not sustainable. But then in Shared Value, it made us understand that it's best we rather put our purpose and the value that the community is getting from us first. Though the community gets a lot from us in terms of our business model already, but we did not actually focus more on that. We were more looking at more of the profits that will come first. But aligning ourselves or understanding the shared value initiative helped us put the value first, and it's the value that is bringing in the money, and that is what is keeping us sustainable. So it's a very good platform and opportunity for us to be part of it. Not
Fantastic.
only getting to our purpose.
Yeah, great. So I see that the purpose actually trickled down to creating your strategies, how to even communicate your business in terms of soliciting the buy-in of existing customers or users of your product. So when a customer comes to you, for an instance, he understands that you are not just selling him a product, but you are promoting his or her well-being, and you are that in touch with your community. And at the end of the day, the whole sustainability that we are talking about is actually connected through the thin line of communicating your purpose, sharing, discussing your strategies, even your culture, the culture of the business, that everybody begins to rally behind in knowing that the purpose resonates with every facet of the business. I mean, that's very insightful. So when it comes to this place, I'm wondering where you actually sit, and then taking a bird's eye view on the entrepreneurship landscape, for an instance, across Africa. What do you think maybe entrepreneurs should take note of when particularly starting a business or, running an initiative? I know that first and foremost, people look at an opportunity to escape the unemployment thing. But then when you look at going forward to maximizing the opportunities that they get, what are the key things that you think entrepreneurship among the youth we have to look at in our practice as entrepreneurs, and what you may say that there are challenges or maybe opportunities that entrepreneurs may not be able to identify because they are all over the place and they seem to be running through a lot of things. What's your perspectives on that?
I think entrepreneurs in Africa, young entrepreneurs, we should be more focused on solving problems, coming up with innovative ideas, solutions that would cause people to rather buy into what we are doing than just looking for a way to escape unemployment. We lack a lot of resources when it comes to funding as African entrepreneurs. But if we are able to be innovative and then be problem solvers, the problem we are solving in itself will create opportunity, would attract people towards what we are doing, so that we will be able to get access to the resources. And we should also start looking for getting the best people going into partnership, because we have people who have the ideas, we have people who have the resources, we have people who can make the connections happen. If we are able to do that right from the onset and be able to come up with good, how should I say, relationships, let me say so, in trusting and then being clear on what we want to do as a partner or coming into partnership, I think we will be able to achieve a lot. Because I started as a sole proprietorship, but along the line I realized that I can't do it alone. If I do it alone, it will take much longer time. And I found somebody who believed in what I was doing. And we came together and we were able to do more, and now we are doing more. So I think that if you are able to get good people, you are able to select the best of teams that also shares in your ideas, shares in your vision, shares in your purpose, and you all come together as a team, no matter the challenges that may come. Since you are a team, you will be able to overcome it. Other than that, we will be there and we will be looking for resources, and they might not be coming, and we will still remain in wherever we find ourselves. But there's an opportunity for us to escape all that by looking at the opportunities available unto us, and resources, human resources, and other resources that we have that we've not identified yet, to be able to achieve what we want to achieve.
Fantastic. Fantastic thoughts there. I totally agree with you. Sometimes entrepreneurs want to do it alone. It actually doesn't work like that. When you discover the problem, you tailor you frame your solutions towards those problems. And definitely you have to go through a number of processes in even validating your problem, that the problem is actually a real problem that can get the buy-in and the support of other people. And I cannot overemphasize the importance of a team, a fully fledged team that actually understands where this solution is heading to, the mindset behind it, and how to even select someone to join you, to join forces together to drive an enterprise is something that is of serious importance. As a business developer, I'll say that I take people through a number of design thinking sprints just to help them distill these things, break them down into various facets, and then connect the dots, help them connect the dots in the various processes that they probably have to adapt. And this is some of the things that the Shared Value Africa Initiative is currently advocating with the purpose playbook training, the shared value training, and then also hopefully the master class coming up next week that will touch base on all these things. And so I'll just encourage everybody that there is a link in the chat box for you to register, for you to select some of the opportunities that the Shared Value Africa Initiative is presenting to you. So please, it was shared by Vuyo in the chat box. So kindly take note of the link and then register. Register for the sessions that is coming up next week. So we value your feedback also. And so there's a feedback form that is also shared there just to get the feedback that you probably have, and also to connect you to the opportunities that we are presenting to you. So please do respond, do apply. It's very, very important that you sign up for the sessions. And so, I mean, time is not our friend on any day. When a conversation gets interesting, you kind of check your clock and be like, I need to stay put. I need to stay grounded. And so I just need to leave us with one or two words. I think that maybe the entrepreneurs connecting to this session can take home, something that they can put in mind and think about in their efforts of, driving sustainable businesses. So what would you share with us?
I would like to encourage each and everyone to be part of this shared value initiative. It's something that we all have to come together. And as Africans, if we are able to put this first, we will be able to make Africa the best of place to live and the best place for investment opportunities.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Kinnock, HG Herbal Clinic founder, the co-founder of Kinnock Herbal, and the co-CEO also, Enoch Ketu. It's been a great honor and privilege having this conversation with you. I'm sure definitely our entrepreneurs connecting on session have benefited from your insights and your advice also, and they are going to work with it. So thank you so much, sir. So everybody here, it's exciting. This forum, as the first forum of 2022, I would say has a lot of opportunity just being shared to you like that. And so some of the things that we are going to do definitely after the call and when I bring Vuyo in would be to select or to probably talk about the 10 people that have benefited or would join us for the masterclass session next week. And so we are almost coming to the end, but then I believe that you have gleaned the insights, you have captured something just to drive with and to promote your businesses also. A kind reminder that there is a registration link in the chat box for you to register your interest in the various opportunities that has been shared on the call. Investor Readiness Workshop, the Purpose Playbook Training, and also the Gemi Trade, go-to trade community platform, the digital tool to access and to maximize opportunities that the AFCFTA presents, the Africa Continental Free Trade Area presents. It's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity that young Africans, young entrepreneurs must take full advantage of. So I encourage you to check in the chat box. If you are missing out on the link, I'm sure our facilitators who are joining me back scene have shared the link several times. So please do find the link and then connect to it. It's amazing. It's a wonderful day. And this is the African Entrepreneurship Forum. It's a quarterly forum. And so keep your connections stable. I mean, by connection, I mean that be closer to your emails from now through to the rest of the year and continuing as an entrepreneur. You want to reap the benefits of Shared Value Africa Initiative. So you don't want to miss out on any opportunity. Right now, since you've joined us, we'll definitely keep facilitating conversations that is tailored to your benefit, tailored to your growth. So take full advantage of all the opportunities. I saw a number of comments in the chat box, but then if you need specific help, specific needs, you can always send an email to the Shared Value Africa Initiative. You can visit svai.africa to the website just to know more about the Shared Value Africa Initiative and to send information, send correspondence to be provided feedback and answers. At this moment, I'm going to call Vuyo, being the director of Shared Value, to not say goodbye necessarily, but to help us know the next steps of our session.
Thank you so much, Andrews. So I think I know the conversation has been quite vibrant, I want to say, and thank you everyone for coming on board and sharing not just like thoughts and insights, but questions, and just, you know, we cover a lot of issues that are quite topical for our SMEs across the continent. And I think for us is to be able to have you together here and be able to not listen to us standing on a platform, but talk to each other, engage with each other, and hopefully with that, we can facilitate some solutions together. It's always a journey. It's always, as you know, my CEO, Dickie Barnard, who's also been chatting with everyone on the chat box, always says, you know, the power of the collective is what enables us to really have create an impact. So, you know, today we're not answering all the questions, but we are growing the conversation towards finding solutions together. So we have identified a few people that would like to invite, that we will be inviting to participate in the masterclass next week. So Lolo, our technical person in the background, will put the names in the chat, and we'll then reach out to everyone after today's session. And I also want to just say that we've had a lot of requests with regards to slides from today's session. We always record the sessions, and everyone who's here today will get a link from today's discussions and what has been shared for you to revisit, to look at, and also to share with others. So having said all of that, I think for me to kind of like, you know, help us in kind of like, you know, wrapping up today's session and look forward, we're very excited to always have our entrepreneurs be part of the sessions. For us as a Shared Value Africa initiative, alongside Shift Impact Africa, Shared Value Africa Academy, and of course our It's Not Okay movement that focuses on gender-based violence as well as gender equality, we have very specific themes that we are focusing on this year that we will continue to engage with our entrepreneurs on, with regards to opportunities, with regards to how to help empower you in various ways. And if you happen to come through to today's session through a friend just sending you a link, definitely, as Andrews mentioned earlier, log on to our website, which is svai.africa. Log in to access our newsletter, and we'll continuously keep you up to date on this. But also, of course, Lolo and I have been sharing the link for registering for the sessions or the opportunities that today specifically we've been talking about. And I think we want to just really create an opportunity for you all to be better empowered, to empower each other, and come back and let us know if there's anything specific as well that you would want to be discussed on this platform. You know, for example, a lot of discussions was happening here around, you know, governments, and we deal with a variety, you know, we have you know, many considerations that we have to talk to when we're talking about the public sector. But I think we need to also bring it onto ourselves and look at how we ourselves can create solutions and partner and work with each other to, you know, build this thriving African economy. So having said that, I want to just also highlight that the SVAI is always available to, you know, for you to reach out to as entrepreneurs. And I really appreciated Mumbi's presentation today when she was really able to delve into exactly what shared value is. Because you find a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of SMEs are practicing shared value, but do not necessarily have the language, as Enoch said earlier, to express what it is that they're doing. If you are profitably addressing a social and environmental issue through your business, that is creating shared value. But what we do through our training is really empower you to be more, I want to say, intentional from a strategy through to people management and change management perspective of what this actually looks like. And those are the you know, capacity building offerings and support systems that we build entrepreneurs. And as you saw with Andrews and Enoch as well, once you become part of that, you become part of our fellowship, part of our collective of entrepreneurs that in various ways is able to then really not just grow your business, but participate in conversation from a much more informed angle, right? So having said all of that, and I see here that, again, we'll be sharing the links with everyone. We'll be sharing, thank you so much, Andrews. You can subscribe to our YouTube page as well, to be able to have access to not just what was happening today, but a lot of thought leadership discussions that we host that bring in your private sector and other sectors around topics relating to social impact and sustainability of the continent. So for the first time ever, we are finishing earlier than initially anticipated. I want to also thank, you know, Mumbi, Enoch, Sawa Nakagawa from the Investor Readiness video that she submitted through to us. And I also want to, of course, thank Andrews, who's always our leader in these conversations as we continue to do so. And as mentioned earlier, we have, I want to just quickly check if we have shared the names of everyone on the list. No, we have not yet, but we can do so now, Lolo, if that's okay. And we can, so that before, as we wrap up the session, everyone knows who has been able to, who's been able to be part of this. Okay, I think she's probably, it's a lot of names that we're going through. So what I'm going to do, oh, thank you so much, Lolo. Here are the names that of the winners. And of course, don't worry about doing anything. We'll reach out to you with the links of how to access our Shared Value Masterclass taking place on Wednesday, the 23rd. So it's not a lot of time to just come in and confirm that you'll be attending. And I guarantee you it's going to be a fruitful and informative session. And, you know, as introduced by Mumbi earlier, she gave us a taste of what the more comprehensive training offers. And our masterclass is more of an introductory session. So having said that, I want to thank you all for joining us today. I want to thank you, Andrews and Mumbi. And yes, we'll connect again in the next quarter. And we look forward to growing our network together. Over to you, Andrews.
Thank you so much, Vuyo, and we look forward to meeting all of you again in the next quarter. Please tell a friend that you joined the Shared Value Africa Entrepreneurship Forum, the first of its kind on Twitter, on Facebook. Tag SVAI. They will broadcast you yet again, just to create awareness that we are building something impactful on the continent, and you are a part of it. All right. Congratulations. You made it. For all the 10 people that won free tickets for a masterclass session, Shared Value Masterclass. Sorry, I keep saying Mastercard because I've been working with them all this while. So kudos to everyone, our 10 people, Kalila, Karabo, Garrett, Webster, Precious, Tapiwa, Adi, Maxo. Congratulations, guys, and see you again in our next quarter. Thank you, Vuyo. Thank you, Tiki. Tiki has been answering so many questions and reacting to so many things on the chat box. She's a founder of the SVAI leader. Love you, mom. Thank you, everybody. Mumbi and Lolo behind the scene, helping us to steer this. We'll touch base again, and we'll see you all in our next quarter. See you all yet again next week for all those that got the opportunity to join us for the masterclass session, Shared Value Masterclass. All the best, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
And thank
Team
you so much.
SVI.